Hey guys, that one Apple guy back at it again, another video. Let me kind of reposition this camera here. And today we're going to be going over the Galaxy A15 5G in 2025. Now, I've made tons of videos on this phone. Tons and tons. You just look. Well, let's take a quick look here. Let's take a quick gander. Let's see what brightness. There we go. Alright, let's take a quick gander here. Let's see how many videos we've did on the A15. So, let's see here. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We won't count that one. 7. We won't count that one either. Oh yeah, 8, 9. Whoops. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14 videos on this guy. And this is going to be the 15th video. Now, this phone came out in January of 2024. That was last year, so it's not that old. And it can be found for about, you could get it brand new 64 gig model for $40 at Straight Talk, which I thought it was the 128 gig model, but I was mistaken. I literally thought this whole time while I had this Straight Talk version of it that it was 128 gig. I didn't think they made a 64 gig, but they did. As you can see, my sword is almost full. If we let this load up here, I don't know why it's not loading, but you can see it there. 64 gig. So, yeah, all my other versions are 128. That's why I was a little weary on that. But let's first go over the design of the phone. So in the back, it is a plastic back, and it is a fingerprint magnet. I just cleaned this, and now I gotta clean it again. But it's actually a really nice back plate. Let me clean this up real quick. And you can see it's beautiful. So it really looks like frosted glass, and it feels very premium also. It is a blue-black finish is what they call. So as you can see, it looks black right now. But then when I shine it to the light, you can see there's a little blue, like, glare thing in it. It looks really nice, and it looks even better in person. Like, it looks navy blue, or sometimes black, like as you can see on the camera, and then shine light to it, and it turns bluish. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful backplate. We do have a triple camera setup that consists of a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro. So it's basically a dual camera setup because the macro really doesn't do anything. But yeah, triple camera setup. It is in the newer design. It's not in the newest design. But yeah, pretty nice. So the right side, we do have our key island design. I also love this frame here. It's plastic, but it is a box, so it definitely can stand up here. Like that. It's standing. It won't probably stand up. Oh, it will stand up on the mouse pad. Cool. So, we have our fingerprint / power button and our volume. Now, the fingerprint's not the fastest in the world, but it does this job there. As you can see, it's reliable, though. It does work every time. I've really never had an issue with this fingerprint. Just a little bit slow at times. Up top, we do have our mic. To the left, we have our SIM / micro SD card slot, which also can double as a second SIM. So that's cool. Even on the non-international US model, we do have dual SIMs. And on the bottom, we have our headphone jack, which is nice to see because, as some of you may know, the Galaxy A16 ditched the headphone jack. So just something to point out there. We do have the headphone jack on here. Mic. USB-C port, which does charge at 25 watts. And our single firing speaker, which does have the new speaker grill cutout. In the front, I believe this is a 6.5-inch screen. Indeed it is. This is a 6.5 inch, 90 hertz, 1080p AMOLED display. It is really beautiful. It's a nice display. It has a little bit of a teardrop cutout up top, and pretty thick bezels all around, especially towards the bottom here, but it is a budget phone. But the AMOLED screen just pops. It looks good. All the colors are amazing. And you could definitely feel that 90 hertz. It's smooth. It's nice and fluid. You can see here, it's pretty fluid. You can't really see it on the Google homepage, and you can't see it on camera because I'm recording in 60 hertz, but it is smooth. It's a nice 90 hertz. And as you can see, there's a little bit of lag sometimes, which we'll go over the processor later, but yeah. But this screen is beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. And it's AMOLED. That's really what... If you can get this phone for $40, having a beautiful AMOLED screen just is amazing. Look at how nice the blacks are down here. Again, you probably can't see that on your camera, especially if you're using an LCD screen, but it looks super. It looks just as good as something like an S22 or an S10 Plus. So, that's something to point out there. The processor we're running on is a MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus 5G chipset. Now, yes, it is 5G, which is nice. And it's coupled with 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64, 128, and 256 gigs of storage. Now, the RAM, let's see, device care, whoops, not app, sorry. Device care, memory. So you can see we're getting 4 gigs here. We can clean it up now. And that goes right there. So now we got 926 megs available. Not great. But we do get RAM Plus. It does hurt your storage. It does... You know, some people are a little bit weary about RAM Plus. Especially on the higher RAM phones. They say, you know, it slows down your phone. Actually, it doesn't really slow down your phone. But it degrades your storage on your phone. Let me show you here. So, I'll give you an example. So, I have my Google Pixel 8a here. I've had this phone for a little while now. And it's my main phone. So, it's a beautiful phone. And I don't think I have RAM Plus on here. Because I don't even think it has RAM Plus. Let's see. I don't know where this could be. RAM. No. So yeah, it doesn't have RAM Plus or RAM expansion. But if I go into this super secret app called Activity Launcher, and then I go ahead and search for main activity, or just main, and then... I don't even... Okay, device diagnostics, that's what it's on. Just want to show you here as an example. Where the hell? I just seen it 2 seconds ago. Where was that? Right here. And then main activity. Launch that activity. Component health. Stored status. So you can see I have 97% of my life remaining for storage. That is your, like, drive inside your phone. Now, there's no physical SSD in here, or hard drive, obviously. But it degrades over time. And if you have this RAM Plus expansion turned on, even as little as 4 gigs, it will degrade your storage capacity. So you can see I have 97%, and I had this phone since March 7th, 2025. So it's not that old. You know, it's like 3 months old or something. And it's already at 97. So this will degrade it faster. I recommend on these lower RAM phones, 4 gigs. You know, you're not going to be keeping these phones forever, so I just put it on 4 gigs. But if you have like a more expensive phone like my S22, I definitely go ahead, go into settings, go into device care, memory, and lower this to at least 2 gigs. Or turn it off, because if you want to keep this phone for a while, turn it down because it will degrade your storage. Just pointing that out there. So RAM Plus, you can expand it, but not recommended. In storage, it does have the micro SD card, and you're going to struggle if you have the 64 gig model. My 128s, man, they work great. But it's still not loading for some reason. Whatever. Alright, back. But yeah, that's that. And then you also do have auto optimization, so you can restart it when needed. So that's cool. Or you can actually schedule it there. But that's that. The MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus processor, it runs pretty good. Now, I actually don't have a Geekbench score, but it scores about 700 over 1,000 something. But it's a pretty good processor. I mean, it runs some lighter games. You're not going to be doing anything competitive on here. I don't know why Royal Match is on here. What the hell? Let me actually go ahead. Let's download some Call of Duty. Actually, frig that, because it's going to take up all my storage. Let's go ahead and head into games. We'll do, like, top charts. Let's see. What's one of the... Okay, we'll download Roblox. I hate that game, but whatever. Let's download that. Let's see how this thing runs. Hey, it took me a minute to find my username and password for this, because I do not play this. I took a screenshot back in, what's this, 2022. And, yeah, can I show this? Yeah, I can. 2022. Of the username and password, so... I just searched password in freaking Google Photos. But, oh, I didn't need to because it already had it with Samsung Pass. That's great. Alright. Looks like we're getting logged on here. See how this bad boy runs. Alright. Let's see how she runs. Agreements. Alright, hold on. In device preferences. Really? There's no graphic settings? Well, I guess we don't have graphic settings in this game. Nope, no graphic settings. Alright. Let me search something like, I don't know. Parkour. Yay. Super fun. Alright, let's try this one, I guess. Let's see how this baby runs. Galaxy A15. $40 phone. See if it runs a kid's game. Alright, we're in. That wasn't long for loading time. I don't know. Oh. A little lag spike there, but. It's a 3D game, so. You never know, it might be pushing it. Yeah, I played this before, I think. So I gotta. How do I restart this? Oh. Respawn, reset. You don't know how to restart this stuff? Graphics quality, manual. Let's turn this bad boy all the way up. And then I gotta figure out how to restart it. Which I don't think I can. It's okay, I'll go backwards. Now, graphics quality is all the way up. And, man, it's performing. Wow, that's surprising. Now, this is super easy. What's so hard about this? Ooh, look at me. I'm going to fall off. Ooh, whoop. Oh, I fell. Oh, and it respawns me here. Boop. Alright, this game sucks. So that's the Galaxy A15 with performance. It's not terrible. It actually runs some stuff pretty well. Now, obviously, it's going to run you simple title games like Hill Climb Racing is the best game around. And you do have the game mode. And it does have One UI 7. which I didn't even go over software. So this guy's going to have 3 more years left in it. Because it already got 1 year. It got One UI 7. And it's going to get up to One UI 10. Wow. So this thing's going to be around for a while. This thing's going to be kicking it for a while. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is running great. This phone's not bad. This phone's not terrible. Let's go over the camera. And I'm going to end this video off. Because if the camera's good, then this thing's a go. And I already know the answer. So, let's open up the camera here. You can see we have our 0.5. We have our 1x, our 2x, our 4x, and our 10x. You can only go up to 10x. But let's try to take a picture. We do have 12 and 50 megapixels. Can't zoom in with the 50. Let's do 12. Wow. That is a really detailed picture. That is a really crisp picture. That's a colorful picture. That's a true-to-life picture. That's a great picture. It takes great photos. The video, unfortunately, maxes out at Full HD 30. You can also go to HD 30 to shave a little space. So, no 60 FPS. You do have portrait mode. You do have a fun mode, which is kind of cool. You usually just find that on more expensive phones. So you can play around with that. You can add like Snapchat filters if you don't want to get Snapchat. And then you go to more. And then you get Pro, you get Panorama, Food, Night, Macro, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse. So there's all your modes there. And I get no super steady video or Pro video, super slow motion, boom. No, you're just getting the simple stuff here. You did get a dedicated night mode, which is cool. Macro, kind of a gimmick. That's going to be using that third camera there, as you can see. It works. I mean, it's not great. Kind of useless. I never used this, ever. Not one time have I used this macro camera. They just slap it on there to say I got 3 cameras for $200. Boom, there you go. Instead of putting a telephoto, which is what they're supposed to do. But, anyways, Galaxy A15 5G. It's a great phone, man. Oops. No waterproofing on this guy, unfortunately. They should add just a little bit. They did with the 16, but it wasn't much. It was like IP54 or something stupid. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, comment, like, and subscribe. See you next one.